Guys, my name is PGP. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the problems that is going to face Evercade and Blaze Entertainment in 2022, and how they can deal with these problems in a way which doesn't affect sales. Now, let's get the obvious thing out of the way. I know I've been uploading a lot recently, so my view count, and numbers in the algorithm are back down. So if you want to subscribe and share, please do. But yeah, basically, guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is an obvious one. Carts that aren't going to be available in print anymore. And we know the two Namco collections, and the Techno's console collection, which is the standard one, which is cartridge number 10, and the Oliver Twins collection are going to be out of print this year due to licensing deals and whatnot, which is understandable. You can't license everything. Now, what this means is you won't be able to purchase these games from Blaze or Funstock or any first-party standard site, and they're not going to be able to print anymore, so they're going to be quite scarce. Now, that's an issue because there's there are quite a few big games in there. You got Double Dragon, you've got Pac-Man, Splatterhouse, a bunch of Dizzy games. So I can understand why that might be a negative for a lot of collectors, especially when some collectors are probably new to it and want to collect all the games. They may not be able to find some of them, and they may end up having to go to eBay and pay ridiculous prices to get the hold of those 4 cartridges. And the Namco ones in general, I have mixed feelings about anyway, because you can't play them on the VS. So yeah, but yeah. Besides that, another big one is to continue on to that is losing licenses. Now we know they've not lost Technos, because Technos has an arcade collection on the Evercade now, and it's sold to the VS. So Techno's arcade is probably safe for at least another year or two. However, Namco is not. Namco, you can't play Namco cartridges on the VS. So if you were buying them, you had to buy a handheld, and they were strictly handheld only. So losing Namco is quite a big one, right? It's quite a big one because Namco is the biggest name of when it comes to retro gaming that's actually on the Evercade. Sure, you got Atari and Television and a bunch of others, but they're the big one. And losing them, the only way is quite big, and the only way that Blaze can really counteract that is if they could get like Sega or someone to counteract it. But then it becomes, would people buy the Evercade for those games, or would they want to go for some more niche games, some more classic games, or some indie games? We don't know. We don't know what everyone's got different tastes and will buy different things. Obviously, as you can see in my collection, I've got all the cartridges. I've collected all the cartridges. I've got the VS and I've got the handheld. However, my VS doesn't actually work. I have Funstock is sending me a new one, but there we go. Now, the reason, obviously, I'm looking at this now, guys, is there's quite a lot of games that we could get on Evercade if Blaze can obviously make deals, and but as we know, Blaze said that there's going to be about they had 16 cartridges coming out this year. Well, they didn't. Well, they implied it in their blog at the start of the year that they had 16. That they were signing 16 cartridges this year. They signed 9 out of 16, which is quite a lot. And we know that 2 of them are going to be Renovation and Gremlin, which the Renovation collection got quite a good reception from the Evercade community, but the Gremlin one got quite a mixed one, which is another issue, because whilst the Renovation collection has 12 games, a dozen games, and there's all these Japanese games, there's RPGs, and there's action adventure games, there's platformers, and stuff like that. The Gremlin one there's 2 strategy games, a racing game, a football game, 1 platformer, and some puzzle game, which they're not all bad games, but if you're a fan of these classic games, they're not really the big games you're going to be trying to get hold of, especially when the platform Azul is the console version and not the Amiga version, which is the better version from what a lot of people have told me. Now, another issue that Blaze has in this 2022 is no new product that we know of. Because we've got the Evercade handheld in 2020. We've got the VS, which technically launched in the UK and in certain other places in 2021. So what is Blaze going to release in 2022? They could release an upgraded handheld, maybe a better screen, better battery life maybe, and obviously the 2 extra shoulder buttons that are on the VS controllers. But besides that, I don't really see them doing anything unless they're going to come out and release an arcade cabinet, which is compatible with every cartridge that they've released for the Evercade, which I don't see that as possible. I don't think many people would buy that either. So yeah, And obviously, the final thing that we have that Blaze obviously needs to address this year in order to really win over a lot more consumers is games. You know, like I said, renovation and Gremlin, okay. Renovation means something to American audiences and might mean something to the games mean something to Japanese audiences, obviously. But Evercade is a British company, and Gremlin means a lot to British people from what I've seen. But they're not Codemasters. You know, they're not really like that big when it comes to the variety they can offer. And some of the games, obviously, that people want on Evercade includes like the classic Final Fantasies, Space Invaders, Sonic the Hedgehog, Alex Kidd, and a bunch of retro like games from arcades like Virtua Fighter, you know, and Gradius and R-Type and all this sort of stuff, which, you know, it all comes down to licensing. And, you know, sure, you can fill up the library of Evercade with indie games. I've made like 20 videos on my channel talking about indie games I wanted to come onto Evercade. But it comes down to, will these games actually show up? What they can do with these games? And how many, and will they be able to collect on both handheld and VS? And I'll be honest, I do have a lot of faith in Blaze. I've collected all the carts, obviously. I've got the handheld, I've got the VS, and obviously I'll buy any more games they release, any more cartridges they release, I'm going to collect. You know, I want to get a full set. And so far they've done quite a good job. They've offered quite a bit of variety. They have nearly 300 games in their library. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they might struggle this year a little bit, because obviously, whilst the Evercade's got this niche fandom, when you when you look at what come alongside the Evercade and products like it, or well, not like it, but like that, the mini console things that they were supposedly competing with, according to a lot of YouTubers, the Intellivision Amico may not even come out, and the Polymega came out, and it's like 600 quid, and then you have the entire VCS, which is 400 quid, and it is what it is. It's just digital only console where you can buy certain games, which, depending on who you are, that might not be with you. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is there any cartridges you want to see this year? Is there anything you think Blaze needs to address this year that could help them, you know, skyrocket forward in popularity and get more people on Evercade? Because to be fair, I do feel like if Blaze is going to keep going the way they're going, they could become the fourth major platform. Sure, they wouldn't be as big as Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft, but when it comes to revenue and whatnot, but like they could just build their own decent sizable chunk of the market, you know, with, you know, dozens of consoles or hundreds of thousands of consoles in the wild, you know, and games for just so many different developers and indie studios like fighting to get their games on the platform. But yeah, what do you think? That's just my thoughts. I want to hear yours. So like I said, comment down below what you think. Maybe make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. You know, we're trying to build a channel. Now, I will address that I haven't uploaded in like 12 days. And before that, I didn't upload for 2 weeks. Yeah, I've been busy with work. I work 2 jobs, and I've got college. But hopefully I should be able to sort some stuff out so I can at least put out a video a week. You know, and obviously we're getting the Evercade cartridges in March, which I'm hyped for. I'm looking forward to them. I want to make some more videos as well about games, you know, reviewing games and whatnot for the Evercade, like certain like games. And yeah, that's just me. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next video. Bye.